It's easy to overlook the small golden or silver dollar coins we come across, but a few of them have become legends among collectors, rare errors, limited runs, and designs that turned ordinary money into real treasures. Stick around as we take a closer look at some of the most valuable American $1 coins ever made. Small, silver, and often overlooked, that's how most people remember the 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar. But this coin, the first in our list today, is far more interesting than it looks. It's a piece that collectors continue to search for, a coin that hides a few surprises under its simple surface, and one that has proven that even a short-lived design can leave a lasting mark in U.S. coinage. When the Susan B. Anthony dollar was released in 1979, it was meant to modernize America's currency. The idea was simple: replace the paper $1 bill with a smaller, more durable coin. The United States Mint wanted something easy to use, easy to carry, and symbolic of the country's progress. They chose Susan B. Anthony, a leader in the women's suffrage movement, as the portrait. It was the first time a real woman appeared on a U.S. circulating coin. But the coin's launch didn't go quite as planned. At first glance, it looked almost identical to a quarter. The same color, the same reeded edge, even a similar size. People kept mistaking it for 25 cents, and businesses weren't ready to adjust their machines to accept the new dollar. Within just a couple of years, the coin stopped being produced for general circulation. However, while the Susan B. Anthony dollar didn't succeed in everyday use, it found an entirely new life among collectors. The short production span and a few unique varieties turned it into a small but fascinating series for numismatists. And within that 1979 release, there are a few examples that are far more special than others. The first and most talked about variety is the 1979 P wide rim, also known as the near-date version. Early in the year, the Philadelphia Mint produced coins with a narrow rim that left extra space between the date and the edge. Later, the design was modified, bringing the rim closer to the numbers. The result was two distinct types of 1979 Philadelphia dollars, the narrow rim and the wide rim. The wide rim pieces were struck in smaller numbers and quickly became favorites among collectors who recognized the difference. Then there are the proof coins from San Francisco, made specifically for collectors. These proofs show another interesting variation, the filled S and clear S mint marks. The filled S looks a bit clogged or blurry, while the clear S shows a sharp, well-defined letter. The clear S version is scarcer and more desirable, especially in perfect proof condition. Besides these design varieties, some $1,979 show small minting errors, off-center strikes, double dies, or weakly struck features, that add another layer of rarity. In a coin where the smallest detail makes a big difference, any unusual minting characteristic can significantly increase its value. In terms of materials, the Susan B. Anthony dollar is made from a copper-nickel-clad composition, weighing just over 8 grams. There's no silver in standard circulation strikes, although some proof sets from San Francisco display a brilliant mirror finish that gives them a silver-like appearance. Because they're smaller than earlier dollars, they were easy to store and handle, but that same feature led to confusion with the quarter, which contributed to their short-lived use. Most 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollars found in circulation are worth just $1. A clean, circulated example doesn't carry a premium, and even uncirculated ones often sell for only a few dollars. But the story changes dramatically when you look at pristine, high-grade examples or coins with special varieties. The wide-rim 1979 P dollar, for instance, can bring $25 to $50 in uncirculated condition and hundreds of dollars when graded at top levels by professional services like PCGS or NGC. Proof coins with the clear S mint mark can also reach several $100s in perfect proof, 70 condition. And then there are the extraordinary cases, coins struck with unusual sharpness, exceptional luster, or flawless preservation. These are the coins that stand out in auctions, the ones that attract serious bidders who know just how tough it is to find a perfect specimen. In a series where most examples are common, a flawless coin becomes the ultimate rarity. One such example surfaced not long ago, a 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar that displayed an exceptional strike, remarkable surfaces, and no visible imperfections. It was authenticated and graded at the highest mint state level possible, placing it among the very best known examples of its kind. When it appeared at auction, collectors took notice. Bidding started modestly but climbed quickly as numismatists recognized what was on offer: a first-year coin, struck in limited numbers, preserved in pristine condition, and representing a unique turning point in modern U.S. coinage. After intense competition, the final price astonished many in the room. This single 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar sold for an incredible $91,000. It's a reminder that condition, rarity, and historical importance can transform even a coin once considered ordinary into a remarkable collectible. The same design that people once confused for a quarter has, in its finest form, become one of the standout pieces in modern U.S. numismatic history. So, if you come across a 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar, take a closer look. Check the rim spacing, look for that mint mark, and notice the overall quality of the coin. While most will be worth face value, a few might surprise you. Hidden among the common pieces are examples that tell a different story, one of scarcity, precision, and lasting value. Our second coin today is one that changed how modern collectors look at U.S. mint errors. It's the 2000 P Sacagawea dollar, a coin that was meant to celebrate Native American history and innovation, but in one special case, it turned into one of the most fascinating minting mistakes in recent U.S. coinage. When the Sacagawea dollar was introduced in 2000, the U.S. Mint hoped it would succeed where the Susan B. Anthony dollar had not. Americans were used to paper $1 bills, and earlier coins had failed to circulate well. To give this new coin a better chance, the Mint made it visually distinct, bright golden color, smooth edges, and a new design. On the obverse, or front, is the portrait of Sacagawea, the young Shoshone woman who guided the Lewis and Clark expedition. She's shown carrying her infant son, Jean-Baptiste, on her back, a peaceful, forward-looking image that was meant to represent exploration and hope. On the reverse is an eagle in flight, wings spread wide, surrounded by 17 stars. The coin's composition was also new. Instead of silver or plain nickel, it was made with a blend of copper, zinc, manganese, and nickel that produced the coin's distinctive golden tone. At the time, the design and color stood out immediately from other U.S. coins in circulation. For most people, the 2000 P Sacagawea dollar is a common coin. The Philadelphia Mint alone produced hundreds of millions that year. But among those millions, one small batch turned out very different, a genuine minting error that would later make headlines and become one of the most famous coin mistakes in modern history. During production, a few planchets, that's the blank metal discs used to make coins, from a different denomination somehow found their way into the presses meant for the Sacagawea dollar. These were copper-nickel-clad planchets intended for the Washington state quarter. When the Sacagawea design was accidentally struck on those quarter blanks, the result was a completely unexpected hybrid, a coin with the design of a dollar but the size, weight, and color of a quarter. Collectors refer to these as the 2000 P Sacagawea dollar/Washington quarter mule errors. The term mule is used when two dies that were never meant to be paired together are accidentally used in the same strike. In this case, the obverse die for a state quarter showing George Washington's profile was mistakenly combined with the reverse die for the Sacagawea dollar featuring the soaring eagle. It's one of the rarest modern mint errors ever produced. Fewer than 20 examples have been confirmed, and each one carries slightly different striking details because of how the dies met the incorrect planchet. The Mint later acknowledged that these coins were genuine mistakes, not altered pieces or counterfeits, and they immediately became a sensation among collectors. Because these error coins were made of the copper-nickel quarter planchet, they look silver-gray instead of golden. Their size is smaller than the normal Sacagawea dollar, and they weigh about 5.67 grams instead of the expected 8.1 grams. Anyone who finds one can recognize it instantly just by its color and feel. After the first discovery, news spread quickly through the numismatic community. Coin dealers, collectors, and grading services all raced to locate additional specimens. Each time one surfaced, it drew national attention. The U.S. Mint even conducted an internal investigation to figure out how the dies were mixed up. While the exact details were never fully explained, it's believed that during a die change at the Philadelphia Mint, a dollar reverse die was mistakenly installed in a press prepared for quarters. Over time, the 2000 P Sacagawea mule errors have become one of the most desirable U.S. coins produced in the modern era. Their fame grew because they represent something extremely rare, a major, visible mistake that escaped the mint's quality controls. Many errors involve slight misalignments or weak strikes, but a mule pairing like this, two completely different denominations, is almost unheard of. Each example that appears on the market is carefully authenticated and graded. Professional services like PCGS and NGC have verified multiple specimens, usually giving them very high mint state grades because they were discovered early and kept in excellent condition. The surfaces are bright, with clear details from both designs visible, creating a coin that seems almost unreal, George Washington on one side, the Sacagawea eagle on the other. Ordinary 2000 P Sacagawea dollars can be found everywhere. They're still used in vending machines, and even uncirculated rolls are common. But the mule errors are on a completely different level. Their rarity, combined with their story, places them among the top modern coin discoveries in U.S. history. At first, a few sold privately between collectors for modest sums, a few $1,000s each. But as word spread and the scarcity became clearer, auction prices began to rise sharply. The coins started appearing in major numismatic auctions, often generating intense competition. Every new sale set a higher record than the last. Today, finding one of these 2000 P mule errors would be like winning the collector's lottery. They are instantly recognizable, fully documented, and considered a cornerstone piece for anyone who studies U.S. mint mistakes. Their combination of rarity, historical interest, and visual uniqueness has pushed their value far beyond most regular modern coins. After years of trading among serious collectors and appearing in several major auctions, one of the finest examples, sharply struck, perfectly preserved, and graded among the highest known, reached a record sale price that few could have imagined for a modern dollar coin. That coin, the remarkable 2000 P Sacagawea mule error, sold for an incredible $64,000. In the last coin of today's finds, we're taking a look at a piece that often slips under the radar, the 2009 Sacagawea dollar. At first glance, it might look like the familiar golden dollar many of us have seen before, but the 2009 issue carries a few unique features that set it apart. For collectors, it represents a turning point in the series and a chance to own something that captures both artistry and scarcity in modern U.S. coinage. By 2009, the Sacagawea dollar had already been in production for nearly a decade. First released in 2000, the coin was created to honor Sacagawea, the young Shoshone woman who played an essential role in guiding the Lewis and Clark expedition across uncharted territory in the early 1800s. The obverse design, created by artist Glenna Goodacker, shows Sacagawea with her infant son, Jean-Baptiste, resting peacefully on her back. It's one of the most recognizable images on any modern U.S. coin, calm, proud, and forward-looking. But 2009 wasn't just another year in the series. It marked the beginning of a new chapter. The U.S. Mint introduced what became known as the Native American Dollar program. Each year starting in 2009, the reverse design would change to highlight the contributions of Native Americans to U.S. history and culture. The obverse would continue to feature Sacagawea, but the reverse would rotate through different themes, making each year unique. The 2009 reverse, designed by mint artist Norman E. Namath, depicts a scene from early American agriculture, a Native American woman planting seeds in a field of corn, beans, and squash. The design was meant to symbolize the important role Native Americans played in teaching sustainable farming methods. Around the edge of the design, the inscriptions read United States of America and $1, with the year and mint mark now appearing along the coin's edge rather than the obverse. The combination of the new reverse design and edge lettering made the 2009 dollar stand out immediately. But what really draws attention to this coin today is how limited it was in circulation. Unlike the first year of Sacagawea dollars, which were made by the hundreds of millions, the 2009 issues were struck only for collectors. They weren't distributed through banks for general use, meaning that all 2009 Sacagawea dollars came directly from mint sets, rolls, or bags. That limited production run instantly made them more collectible. Even though millions were still produced, the difference between a coin found in circulation and one available only through collector channels makes a big impact on long-term value. The mint struck the 2009 Sacagawea dollars in both Philadelphia and Denver, along with special proof versions from San Francisco. Most examples sell for modest amounts today, especially those taken from regular mint sets. However, a few stand out for their exceptional condition, strong strikes, and unusual varieties. One such variety that caught collectors' attention is a special edge lettering error, where the inscription, E pluribus unum, in God we trust, and the date, appears doubled or inverted. Because the edge lettering was applied after the main strike, any misalignment or mechanical slip could create an imperfect or unusual result. These edge errors, while rare, make certain 2009 dollars much more desirable. Another key factor in the 2009 coin's appeal is the proof version. Proofs are coins made with polished dies and planchets, producing mirror-like fields and frosted details. They're struck multiple times to bring out every detail of the design. The 2009 S-proof Sacagawea dollar is among the most beautifully finished coins of the modern era, and examples graded as proof 70, the highest possible grade, have drawn strong prices among serious collectors. Still, the most remarkable 2009 Sacagawea dollars aren't just ordinary mint issues or proofs. Some coins have been discovered with special finishes or unusually sharp strikes that stand above all others. These pieces, certified and graded by top agencies, represent the finest quality ever produced for that year. Over time, the 2009 Sacagawea dollar has developed a quiet but growing collector base. The annual Native American Dollar program brought renewed interest to the design, but the 2009 issue remains special because it was the first of that series, the coin that started a new tradition in modern U.S. coinage. It's the link between the original 2000 design and the later rotating reverses, making it historically significant and appealing to those who like first-year issues. Because of that significance, prices for high-end examples have climbed steadily. Well-preserved uncirculated pieces are easy to find, but flawless specimens graded at the very top levels are scarce. Coins that show perfect surfaces, bright golden luster, and no contact marks can reach values far higher than most collectors expect. Among these, one 2009 Sacagawea dollar stood out as a true prize. It was struck with remarkable precision, displaying the finest detail in both the obverse and the agricultural reverse design. Under magnification, its surfaces showed almost no imperfections, and the edges carried sharp, clear lettering. Certified by a leading grading service as one of the best examples known, it became one of the most sought-after pieces in the entire series. When it went to auction, collectors recognized it instantly. It wasn't just a 2009 dollar, it was a perfect representation of the series' first year in the Native American program, preserved at an exceptional level of quality. After several rounds of bidding, it reached a final price that placed it among the highest-valued modern dollar coins ever sold. That coin, the outstanding 2009 Sacagawea dollar, sold for an impressive $38,000. And that wraps up today's list of incredible dollar coins, each one with its own story, rarity, and surprising value. If you enjoyed learning about these coins, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more rare coin stories every week. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy collecting.